St. Lucia ushered in a contemporary avenue of economic development within the region with 2024's Cannabis Symposium. This event brought together numerous islands within the Caribbean under the theme of responsible and lucrative cannabis use. Over the course of 2 days, participants discussed a framework to assess the viability and practicality of cannabis in contributing to the country's GDP through exports and medicinal applications. Emma Hippolyte, Minister for Commerce, outlined strategies including legislature updates to harness the potential of cannabis in St. Lucia.
We have started going through the regulatory framework. We have established the Regulated Substance Authority. The next step for us is to establish the cannabis bill. We have a draft, we have gone through stakeholder conversation. We will continue the stakeholder conversation. Now we are actually trying to put all the nuts and bolts in place so that the industry can come to life. So we are putting the legislative framework. We are looking at some of the other things, the marketing, the investment needed. So putting the infrastructure in place to give birth to the industry. So the MOU today in terms of sharing of information is also critical for us because we've learned from what we did when we had, for example, the banana industry, where we had a regional approach to it. What are the lessons learned from that industry and how we can minimize the pitfalls for us?
Above all, however, Minister Hippolyte believes that an education campaign is an imperative for St. Lucia to utilize cannabis responsibly.
There's a stigma with the use of cannabis. And we have a concern, especially among our young persons, that they are using cannabis at an early age and it could have implications for them in terms of their development. We need to put that up and center to the individual families as well as to the school system and to the young persons themselves and try to get them to understand that this is not a substance that you can use at an early age and abuse it because it has implications for you. We need to have a lot of conversation on that. So the development of that public relation, public education is massive. And we cannot do it alone. We need to do it with the Ministry of Education. Yesterday in the hall we had the Christian Council, for example. It's all-encompassing.
For Honorable Dr. Ernest Hilaire, the Minister for Tourism, the Cannabis Symposium served as a roadmap for the island on how to sustainably use the herb as a valuable contributor to the economy.
How do we set up an industry that can, thrive and we can make use of the opportunities we have before us? So this is what this is about, to share experiences, share knowledge, and to share basically ideas as to how we can make it happen. I mean, you just have to imagine. I mean, like I said, there's so many products that the cannabis, the plant can be used for, and therefore there are people who travel for it. There are wellness retreats that are themed, after cannabis. There are medicinal use products for medicinal use. And of course, there are people that use it for recreational purposes. So there's a lot. We will be passing shortly the cannabis bill, which will establish in St. Lucia a legislative framework for how people use it, how people commercialize it, and how we regulate it. So I think that will be a major turning point for us. So today is really a coming together of all the islands to talk about what each island is doing and where each island is heading for us to kind of share experiences and move forward.
It is the hope of not only St. Lucia's leaders but many authorities within the region that the Cannabis Symposium serves as a catalyst for newfound economic opportunity as our society grows, leaving behind outdated ideologies and stigmas. For Choice News Now, this is Obi Offor reporting.